Growing up, I never understood the phrase that ignorance is bliss. Because for me, learning was magic. New words, new worlds, a vast expanse of knowledge provoking new dimensions of thought. Young me was confounded by the fact that learning could even possibly be bad. As a child, I loved to read. After all, it was learning and having fun at the same time, my two favorite things. I loved those illustrated fiction series where I could follow along for hours with Jack and Annie as they traveled from everywhere from the Amazon forest to the Arctic. Or Geronimo Stilton learned about everything from hieroglyphics to dinosaurs to ninjas. And most of all, I loved mysteries. I read all 26 A through Z mysteries, all 54 Magic Treehouse books, and over 100 Geronimo Stiltons. But as I got older, I needed to learn more about the real world. So I spent my time delving into books, researching history, and doing everything I could to learn about the natural world. At first, I couldn't see what could possibly go wrong. After all, everything was so shiny, so new and sparkly. But now, I understand. Learning hurts. As a child, I thought that wars and racism was something of the past, buried deep under layers of treaties and promises. So I was taken aback when I learned in 3rd grade that there were still American troops deployed in Afghanistan and there were battles occurring in the world every single day. I was horrified to learn in the 7th grade that the KKK still exists with a chapter here in Illinois, land of Lincoln, or that the number of white power groups in America went from 919 in 2016 to 950 in 2017, and even more in 18, 19, and 20. So yes, these things all hurt. It hurt to learn that in the past 80 years, we've accumulated over 6.3 billion tons of plastic waste, creating plastic islands and filling up endless landfills with forks, bags, and endless single-use knickknacks that will take anywhere from 10 to 1,000 years to decompose. And it also hurt when I learned that the Equal Rights Amendment was proposed in America to Congress in 1921, and now 99 years later, in 2020, we still cannot legally guarantee gender equality in the workforce. Our self-proclaimed best government in the world still hasn't done anything about it, but most of all, what really hurts, nobody seems to care. So yes, these things all hurt. They hurt a lot. It hurt to learn that the legal system in America is nothing like those A through Z mysteries I read as a child. And it hurt to learn that in America, in 99% of cities, it is physically impossible to afford even the rent of a 2-room apartment off of a full-time minimum wage job. So much for a basic living standard, right? But just because these things hurt doesn't mean you can ignore them. Strength is not dodging the bullet time after time and calling yourself a victor. Strength is knocking the gun out of the hand of greed, corruption, ignorance, and calling for change. I vividly remember 2 years ago in my American history class when some kid sitting next to me goes, "Hey Angela, why are you so sad?" Well, I really didn't know what to say to that. Not because I didn't have an answer, more because I knew it wouldn't matter to him. So I said, I guess I'm just tired. But what I really wanted to say, what I couldn't say, I wouldn't say, because I knew what he would say, is that I was sick and tired of the curriculum whitewashing America's history, sick and tired of him using degrading slurs to attack the other boys, and sick and tired of them returning the jazz back like it's all one big joke, a big joke that those same slurs were used to dehumanize and oppress people who look or love differently, a big joke. Like the erasure and persecution and oppression and ostracization never existed at all. But the real joke is on you, little boy, because no amount of shooting pebbles at each other will ever repair the cracked walls that are your fragile masculinity. But I cannot tell you this because you will make a scene, call me crazy and emotional and dramatic. So I just turn away. Sometimes I really wonder. I wonder if I'd be happier if I could simply close my eyes to my surroundings. But life isn't a simple journey. It really isn't. And the thing is, I'm mad, but I should be. In fact, I'm livid, and so should you and you. In fact, isn't human nature supposed to be upset at what is wrong in the world? In fact, if you are not upset at the oppression of others and destruction of the planet, if you can still laugh and joke along like it's no big deal, that speaks volumes about your moral character more than I could ever say up here. Over the past 3 years, I've accepted the fact that I may never experience innocent happiness again. But hey, I'm okay with it. Because when my kids and their kids and their kids read their storybooks and sit in their history classes, I want them to know that I was on the right side of history.